What's up, Notjust developers? Welcome back to the part 2 of our LMS project. In this series, we are building a production-ready full-stack learning management system application that is going to be something similar to Udemy or other course applications that you might know. So in part 1, we already managed to build a lot. We built the user side. The user can browse courses. I'm going to show you in a second, can enroll in them. We have all the database. We have all the authentication with Clerk. So we have a very solid base to build on top on. Today, the plan is to work on the course creator side, for the tutors to be able to create courses, to manage them, and to also see some analytics about the students. This project is built with React Native and Expo. It's focused on a mobile application, but it can very easily be adjusted to work on web as well. We are using Native Win for styling, and on the backend we are using Clerk for the authentication and user management, and Supabase for the database and the storage. We are also using a lot of AI tools because nowadays this is something normal, such as screen designs for UI designing, Cloud Code, Cursor. All the links you can find in the description, and I want to say a big thank you to Clerk for sponsoring this tutorial. Thank you very much for making it possible and for making user management and so seamless and so easy to integrate. Perfect. So here is what we already have in our application from the first time. We have a home screen where we can see like my courses, we see recommended courses. We can also go ahead and search for some courses. For example, let's search for some data structure course. Here it is. This data is coming directly from the database, so it's not like hard-coded, it's actually working. So we can click on it. Here we can see more information about the course, about the tutor. And for some courses, we're also going to see lessons. For example, if I look here, we see the curriculum with chapters, with different lessons that we can navigate through. We can go ahead and start a lesson because this is a course that we are already enrolled in, but if it's another one, we can press enroll now and then we can start a lesson. The thing is that this page, start a lesson, the lesson page is still hard-coded. So today our goal is going to first make this page dynamic, make the player, the video player, working, and only then we're going to move on to the tutor side. On the profile, we can manage the user profile. This is all done and implemented by Clerk with their pre-built components. Amazing stuff. And we can also, we also see if we sign out, this is the welcome screen the user get whenever they open the application for the first time. We can press get started, create an account or sign in using Clerk. These screens are also pre-built by Clerk, so it was like 2 minutes to integrate. I'm going to press forgot password because I actually forgot the password. Clerk is going to send me the email. Oh, it's on my other email, so let me do 799-777. Success, and we are back here. We also have like onboarding flow, but I already have onboarding, so that's why I don't see it. But we've managed to do like a lot. Here are all our users and information in Clerk about authentication. We have Supabase running locally for now. We've already database set up with all of these tables. For example, one of the first tables that I can point out to is the profile table. This is linked to a user or a tutor. It doesn't matter. This is the profile of a user. Then we have courses, right? So the course is created by someone. It has information about the course itself. Then a course has chapters, and the chapters have lessons. So this is how it flows. The lessons have resources such as PDF files or stuff like that, or downloadable stuff. And we also have the enrollments table that connects a course with a user. So there is the user on the side and the course on the other side to know which user is connected to which course, is enrolled in which course. And lesson progress to track the progress of a user to see if he has went through the lesson or not. So all of that is ready. And before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that you can download this guide following the link in the description below. You're going to open a page on our website. And under tutorials, you're going to get here, leave your email, and then I'm going to send you the URL to this guide. In this guide, you're going to find the source code. And if you open up the source code, you're going to see it contains the code for our project. I also created a separate branch, part 1, but I'm going to leave untouched with the code as it is at this moment of me speaking. So if you want to follow along and implement it yourself, you can just navigate to the part 2, download or clone the repository from there, and start working together with me to implement everything that we have planned for today. Once you download it, what you have to do is do npm install. That is going to install all the npm packages. After that, I recommend you do npx expo pre-build to generate the iOS and Android folder, because we are using a custom development client. And after that, run npm run iOS or npm run Android to build it and run for example, iOS. Then you also need this env file, which maybe I'm going to copy paste it as env.example. So you're going to need to fill in your environment variables here. I'm going to make sure to push this change as well. env example. So just copy paste this env example and call it .env, and there you will put your public Clerk publishable key that you can find by creating a project in Clerk, and then under configure, you can go into API keys and you can get this publishable key. Just copy the key, paste it in your env there, and your project is going to be connected with your Clerk project. For the Supabase, we are currently running it locally. So I recommend you installing Docker to be able to run Supabase locally. I also left the links to the documentation of running Supabase locally, but if you have Docker, then you can do npx supabase start, and that is going to look into the Supabase folder. It has all the files and configuration that it needs, and it is going to start the Supabase in Docker containers. After some time, it's going to take you, like the first time, a couple of minutes for everything to be downloaded, but then you're going to see all of this information that you can also get by running npx supabase status. The same information, like just if you missed it. So Studio is what you will access to get the same like user interface as you get on supabase.com, but it's running locally. You see, it's like your local host IP. Here you're going to see the table editor and everything else. In order to reapply the migrations, if you do not see like your tables here, all you have to do is do npx supabase db reset, and this will reset the local database, meaning it's going to delete all the tables and it's going to reapply the migrations again. In production, resetting is not safe, but in development, this is how we get a fresh start on our database. So it's going to do that for me in a second. Question, is it safe to talk to the database directly from the application with our backend in case of some loop a request might happen? The thing is that we're not talking directly with a database. We are using the Supabase client, and we are protecting our data in the database using row-level security. I'm going to explain you in a second what that means, and I'm going to show you why this is safe. For now, I don't have any tables yet. We are resetting them. But the thing is, if you're going to look into these migration files, which will set up everything, you're going to see some kind of policies like this. For example, this policy has the name instructors can delete their own courses. So what it does, it says, hey, the table public courses for the operation delete should only be allowed if the ID or the sub from the header of the user doing this request, if it's equal to the instructor ID. So that means that only the owners, only the instructors of a course can delete it and can update it and can insert it and can select it. Maybe select this is a bit something different. But as you can see, that's how we protect data. So I will have only access to my data. Not only to my data. I mean, I can have read access to, for example, all the courses. But deleting or updating, we can restrict who can do that. So it's super safe to do that. Okay, the reset happened. We got the tables from scratch. And as we will see, it already has some data here. This data is coming from a file called seed. Seed is specifically a file that is being run after the migrations to insert some data in the tables. And this is something that I created with Claude Code, just to have some data to work with. It has some courses, it has some chapters, and so on. In the application, we are redirected to the onboarding because now our profile is not onboarded. So I can go continue, I can select my interests, and here I can do subscribe now. The payments is not implemented, but everything else is. And in profile, we should have a new user with this ID, which is the same ID as it ends with APN, the same ID as my ID in Clerk. Look here, APN. So that's how we are connecting Clerk with Supabase. And then in the courses, for example, this is instructor is going to point to a profile. And then, because we have these row level securities, it will restrict who can update, delete, and so on. Does it make sense? I hope it does. We can go ahead and enroll in some courses, for example. And we're going to see a new enrollment in our enrollment database. Perfect. So that's the whole setup. We have Expo application with custom development build. We have Supabase running locally. And we have Clerk. That's our stack for now. Let me go ahead and do a git status. And we are going to get started with the features for today. The first feature that I wanted to do today is to work on the lesson page, because everything else is real data, but the lesson page is still only the UI. So if I go to the source, application, courses, lesson ID, we're going to see here that we never fetch any data. Like, this is all dummy data. Because we are vibe coding this, I'm going to open up my Claude. And I'm going to tell my Claude, implement fetch data from Supabase for this lesson. Check how we did it in other pages. For example, our course index, I think, is a good one. Yeah, it has like use course and so on. I think course index, course, this file is a good example for you to know how to do it. Because first it's going to create in the services probably a lessons service, and these services are exporting custom hooks that are using Tanstack query to interact with Supabase. And using Tanstack query gives us okay, here, do you want lessons.ts in the services? As I said, like, this is the first thing. Claude is thinking like me. That's good when you get to that point. And we can see that it added use lesson by ID to fetch the lesson from the database by ID. And for now, that's the only hook here. Later, we're going to add update and so on when we implement the admin side, the tutor side. The next step probably is going to be to update the lesson page. So let's just say enter, and we're going to see the changes a bit later. The lesson page from application, courses, lesson ID. That's what it changed. It took the lesson by using the use lesson hook that I just showed you. It fetched that information from the database. It took the chapter, it took the list of resources. And it has this video section which is not working yet. Like, don't worry, we're going to fix that in a second. But I'm interested in, like, the title is the chapter title, getting started with React Native. The lesson is the correct one, lesson 1. Lesson title, and the description is also correct. And then an array of resources, which is also coming from the database. Okay. Let's see if it's finished. I think it finished. So what it did is created the service. It used this to fetch data, updated the lesson screen. I think the next step is for us to be able to press on one of these lessons from the list, because we are not redirecting to the lesson page only here in the start lesson, which probably I would like to also be able to go directly to a lesson. let's say from the curriculum section on the course index, where we display the lessons, link them to their page. So I want to press on it and open the specific page of that lesson. If a client has a bug causing repeated HTTP requests to Supabase, like an infinite loop, are there rate limits or protections that will block further requests? Good question. Supabase rate limiting. Look, that's what I usually do. Just go ahead and Google it. The Supabase enforces rate limits on authentication endpoints to prevent abuse. You can also manage them through the management API. This is for the authentication. So on the auth, it exists. On edge functions, not sure if it exists internally by default, but you can implement it. How do you... one second, I'm going to read the comment. Let me just give Claude some work to do. I need course ID to the chapter component and wrap each lesson in pressable. Do you want to make this edit? Yes. Okay, I see that if I press on environment setup, I get to this lesson with the title environment setup. If I press your first app, I get here. If I go to the second chapter, I am here. The chapter is dynamic. You see its core components and styling, lesson 1, and the name of a lesson. If I press next, it doesn't do anything. But if I tell, it's still working. So each lesson, okay. Now implement the next previous lesson buttons from the lesson page. So while Claude is working, I can read some comments. How do you set up the 16:9 YouTube video ratio in the OBS and also manage not to get the black bars at both sides of a video, and also you're not properly shown the full screen of MacBook without like squeezing and how is it possible? I'm not exactly sure what do you mean. I have a... The thing is that I'm using a ultra wide screen. So when sharing this in OBS, only like 60% of my screen can fit on the screen. So that's why I only have like my left side of the screen shared with you, and the right side, like it's not. I don't know how to show you, but yeah. Right side is not shown. Will the videos be stored in Supabase storage? If so, how can we protect the user from stealing the file once it is fetched on the user's device through the network requests? Yeah, the video are going to be stored in the Supabase storage. And about your next question, we can think about that. Okay, let's go ahead and say yes. I don't know what exactly is happening there. but this is for the next and previous. I usually accept a lot, test if it's accept a lot of code that the AI is generating, then test it to see if it's working, and at the end I just go through the differences to see like if it's not doing anything crazy and if it's what I expected. What is your workflow, guys, with using AI? First of all, let me start a poll. Let me know, first of all, are you using AI coding assistants? And then I'm going to ask you which one. Okay, so fetch courses via use course to get the full chapter lesson list. This data is likely ready to cache before the course detail. Build a flat sorted list of all find next, previous. I don't know. Let's see if it's working. Like if I go to the first lesson, I cannot go back, but I can go forward. I'm navigated to lesson 2. I can go again, lesson 1 from the second chapter. I can go back here. What else? Yeah, I can navigate like this, and I can also navigate like this. I think that's nice. I think that's what I wanted. So let's see what changes happened. First of all, we saw already the services, right? The one that is querying the lesson by ID. Everything looks okay here. In the course ID index, this is the page of the course. What we see here is that it changed the list of the item of a lesson to a pressable, and it redirects to the lesson page when we click on it. That's happening here in this pressable. Anything else happening here? No, nothing major. And the lesson ID, here is a lot of things changed. It first takes the course ID and the lesson ID from the URL when we redirect there. Then it uses it to first get the lesson. Then it uses it to get back the course. And it's not going to reach the database because it's already cached. It knows the chapters. It takes all the lessons just to find the previous and the next lesson. This probably can be improved a little bit, but I don't think this is a bad thing. So yeah, here is the previous lesson and the next lesson. And then it's using like dynamic data from the chapter, the lesson, and so on. Okay, so that's good. Now we know that the lesson page is dynamic and is fetching data dynamically. Let's do commit, or maybe we can do that. Commit this. I don't even want to think about like commit messages nowadays. Like sometimes I just do that and it will create like a nice commit message based on that. So you should basically remember that you should not take the things outside the 60%, and also you should keep reminding yourself that when you're recording a video, you should not take things out. Yes, that's correct. But that was my system like for a very long time, and I got used to it. So I usually set up like a window up until the border, and I see it on the other monitor as well. And then I know like I don't go outside there. Same thing here. Okay, everything is committed. We can move on. What do I want to do next? The next thing probably is going to be the video player. Let's go ahead and implement the video player, and for that we're going to use Expo AV, not Expo AV, because Expo AV is the old way of interacting with audio and video. We're going to use directly Expo Video, a new library that implements the video playbacks. I'll take the docs from here and I will say implement the video player using Expo Video, and I will even give the documentation. I'll say I know there is a dummy video URL of the rabbit, Big Bunny. Big Bunny, where is Big Bunny? Why it's not available? Access denied. Big Bunny. Is this the URL that I was using before, and now for some reason it doesn't give me its Big Bunny. This one. Okay, it's good. So I'll say use for now this dummy video URL. So I'm going to give an MP4 URL. So I see that 92% of you guys are using Coding Assistant. Now my question is, which one? Which one do we have? I'm doing so many like typos. I think I got lazy to even think about like not doing typos, because the AI always understands even if I do typos. So now when I'm writing, like I see that I'm very messy. Is it possible to do it without Cloud Code? Of course, but it's going to take you a little bit more. Let's just do accept everything. I see that it installed Expo AV. If we look into the changes, in package.json it installed Expo AV. That means that we're going to have to rebuild our application, and that takes a bit of time. So in another terminal, meanwhile it's doing all the changes, I'm manually going to do npx expo pre-build. This will regenerate the iOS and Android native side projects to include Expo AV and other changes. And then I'm going to do npm run iOS, npm run iOS or Android to rebuild the project that was just generated. And we're going to have to wait for that. For now, I can just look at what it did, maybe for the changes. As I said, like the first thing that it did is installed in packages.json Expo video. And in app.json, it added Expo video in the plugins. And then in lesson.id, it has this video URL. It creates the player using a use video player from Expo video. And instead of this previous, like just rendering an image for where the video is supposed to be, it's actually rendering the video player with native controls. So it's not using like these controls that was generated by Cloud Code. It's going to fall back to the native controls of the platform on iOS and on Android. And it's sending the player. Then it should also have, when we press on some buttons, we can interact with player to pause and stop it and so on. But a lot of things are going to come from native controls. So I'm going to just wait for this to rebuild. Here, it's rebuilding, and then we're going to be able to test it to see if it's working. 50% are using Claude, 0 are using Cursor, 10 are using Codex, and 40 are using Other. Which one, if you wrote Other, tell me which one exactly. Write down in the comments, please. I need some air. I've got this little device here that is showing me the CO2 in the room. So I was with, come on, yeah. Now it's 1500, which is a lot, meaning that I don't have oxygen. I'm suffocating here in CO2 because I had like everything closed. And now I'm just open the window and it should drop pretty soon. Open code. Am I, is the quality of a video poor? Like, am I lagging? Let me figure out what I should stop because I can see that it's kind of laggy. There's not a lot I can close. I need Docker. Yeah, maybe Dropbox I need to... Okay, yeah. I can hear that my Mac Studio is struggling. No lagging anymore. Hopefully. Hello, hello. But that usually happens when I'm building, like Xcode is also taking a lot of power, so that's why. Hello, Nitro. What IDE? I'm using, actually I'm using Cursor, but not using a lot of its AI features. I was using VS Code for a very long time. Then I moved to Cursor. When I started using Cloud Code, then I said like I no longer need Cursor and I went back to VS Code. Then I was missing the autocomplete features, the IntelliSense, and then I moved back to Cursor, but using Cloud Code for most of the AI coding jobs. and just cursor for the auto completion. I'm actually on the free plan on cursor. So that's my current setup. In a way, I'm just using VS Code and Cloud Code. Okay, so here we have it. Let's test. The application has been rebuilt. We can go into resume lesson. Resume lesson no longer works because probably it doesn't sound like the proper ID. So I need to go to specific lesson, for example, environment setup, render more hooks. That's a common thing when we have if-else statements like this one. This is a no-no. And this is coming from the lesson ID. I'll just manually copy this and move it to right before return statement. This way, hooks like use player are not rendered conditionally. That's something that you probably need to know, that AI can sometimes make mistakes like this. So that's why you need a good fundamentals. Cannot read property chapter of undefined. Where is that coming from? Chapter of undefined. Chapter dot chapter. Oh, here. Lesson dot chapter. Where is it? Come on. LMS. Oh, yeah. I know. It also has to do with the fact that we moved this is loading or if there is no lesson down, because it is checking it like this. So maybe I can do a question mark here. Lesson is possible undefined. Where else it's using lesson here? Question mark. Or I probably should have. I think this is okay. But anyway, I really don't like having hooks that down. So I'm going to move a hook a bit up. And now I can do this. Okay, now if I go here to this lesson, it's loading. I see it, and I see something here. No idea what's that. It should be the video player. I don't know what's exactly happening. Failed to load available audio tracks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because the video URL should not be from the lesson for now. I'll bring it from the lesson a bit later. For now, let's just use this dummy video. LMS. Okay, let's go here, and it should load the video there. It's still not loading, maybe or maybe not. No, it should. Yes, the video is there, and I can press to play it. It has something, but I don't see the video itself. Right? It knows that it's 8 seconds. If I open it up, the URL is correct. What might be the problem? If I go full screen, yeah, it's still not properly loading. Let's think. Video player, native controls, content feed, contain, cover, no. Allow picture in picture, no. Style, with background color, black. Why is that? Let's look at the docs to see if we missed anything. So from the video, when two video views components are overlapping, okay, one of the videos will be spread out of bound. Support background playback and support picture in picture, okay. We have a video source. It's using this big bunny, but I think it has the same problem with access denied. The big bunny. Player. Use video player. I can add this second parameter here to... I don't think I need to loop the player here, but at least to autoplay. So if I go here, environment setup, it should be autoplay. It is autoplaying, but I don't see it. Can it be because of the encoding of that file? Of a codec, maybe. Which one to try? To try this one? Yeah, still no bueno. I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of the encode of a codec. Let's give it a try to this one as well, but I don't think this is going to work. And the one from the docs, even if it's not opening here, maybe it's going to open. Don't think it will, but give it a try. Come on. Come on, see. Yeah, this one, it's not found. Give me a video link, guys. Look, I'm going to consider that it works. not this one, like the one with MP4. If it's playing, even though I don't see it, I'm going to consider that it works. And then I'm going to get back to it to see if it's working, like when we actually implement like storage and so on. Then we're going to have a little bit more control over it. For now, I'm thinking what to do with this player, because I don't really like that it's so up top. I'm thinking to have a proper header here. To have a proper header, that would require in the layout lesson to have header large title true and header transparent maybe false. Like, I mean, not to have header transparent. Hello? If I go here and then here, why I don't see the header large title? Video view. What's going on here? Like, if I do BG red 500, yeah, it's applying. But what's going on with this not applying? Lesson ID has header title. If I will try to just return null, will it just have a title? Come on. Oh, not here, sorry. In the lesson ID, return null. If I go to lesson ID, yeah, my computer is kind of slow today. If I go here, yeah, it has the hello, you see? And that means that the problem is with views and so on. If I do header large false, it's going to have like a normal header. It should have a normal header. Yeah, now it has a normal header. Need to restart it to properly see the header itself. Yeah, now the player is here. Yeah, I think it's much better, right? Like this, because because from the lesson I can render here stack dot come on screen, and I can render here options, header, title, and put the lesson title there. For example, environment setup. So if I go to environment setup, that's going to be here environment setup. Okay, that's good. Layout. Might not need it here, but I will leave it like this. Okay, now it's better because the player is here and it's not going to be displayed underneath anything there, underneath anything important. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, let's just check the changes, but I think we already did that. We integrated the Expo video player. So let's do git add, git commit, lesson video player. Perfect. Can you test using a long text in the title to see how it works? Yeah, we can do that. I think it should be handled correctly. If I go into the title and say, yeah, let me do plus this, it properly handles it. Here. Thank you for the question. Okay. Let me think where we are right now, because I think we have most of the things ready for us to move on to the next step. And the next step would be for us the admin side, the one to create courses, to upload video lessons, the tutor that is going to manage the course. And at one point there, we're going to get into uploading the video lessons to Supabase, and then we're gonna come back to this player to load the video from the Supabase. Maybe we can do that right now. To set up videos in the Supabase and then move to the next step. Yeah, I think we're going to do that right now because it's part of a client side. Like without being able to watch a lesson, like it doesn't really make sense. So let's go ahead and do that right now. I'm gonna go into Claude and say, where is my Claude? Here. I want to store the video lessons in Supabase. Please create the required resources. This includes like buckets and so on in Supabase, and then load the videos from Supabase on the lesson page. I will manually upload some videos in the created bucket. So now we need to create a bucket in our Supabase storage. Now we do not have any buckets, and buckets are in a way folders, and we told Claude to do that. Because we don't want to create it manually, we want to create it through the code, through the configuration here. and you're going to see what is going to happen. And Claude is also going to make sure that the videos are downloaded from there. We'll see what it does, and while it's building, I'm going to take a very short break, toilet break, and then we come back and continue. Okay, do we have water? Yes, I have. So it's still okay. Let's see in the changes what happened. One, it added a migration in Supabase to create a bucket called lesson videos, and it gave read access for all lessons and allow authenticated users to upload videos. Let's only maybe later we should limit only instructors to be able to upload videos, but that's a bit later. Okay, and then the lesson ID, what it's doing is it's taking the Supabase URL and it's taking the public. Let's see if we can make this table private. I want to make the bucket private and to protect the video lessons to be accessible only by authenticated users. So we see that it created not a public, a private page bucket. Here false is saying public false. And then authenticated users can read lessons and they can upload lessons as well. In the lesson ID, it added a new service, a new function in the lessons service, use lesson video URL. What it does, it takes the video path, and then it creates a signed URL, meaning that this URL is only for that user. It signs a URL, giving him access only if he is authenticated. Then that URL is returned and can be used in the video URL here. Yeah, perfect. Let's see if that is going to work properly. Oh, what happened here? It finished, or it's still. Oh, it actually does this npx Supabase DB reset for me. If your agent didn't do it, you need to run npx Expo, not Expo, npx Supabase DB reset, because you created a new migration and you want to apply that migration. And by applying that migration, you are creating the storage bucket. So when you go to your localhost Supabase Studio and refresh, you should have lessons videos. Here you do not have any files and so on, but I can upload something. Let me see if I can upload some kind of videos. What videos can I upload? Let me upload for now like some screen recordings. Yeah, I will do this one. It's like 40 seconds, not huge. Let me try. Let's call it test or video 1. Okay, let's drop it here. No, let's do upload files and do video 1. I'm uploading like a .mov. I'm not sure if that's going to properly work on iOS. Maybe it will. But anyway, it's video 1.mov. Now I need to go into the table editor. I need to find a specific lesson. For example, one with title environment setup, because I remember that was, I'll have to go through the onboarding again because I reset the database. That's totally fine. Let me refresh. I know in the introduction to React Native there is this environment setup, and I believe it's this one. So if I go to the video URL, I will update it just with the video 1.mov, the name of the file from that storage bucket. I will look into the lesson to see where it's taking the video path. The video path is taking lesson.video URL. It's not actually the URL, it's the path, because it's not a full URL. But anyway, it should work, because now if I go to environment setup, yes, it's working. Look, it's the video that I uploaded to Supabase storage. And this video that I uploaded here in the storage is not public. It's only available to authenticated users through the policy that we created here. Later on, we can also have a property on the user if he's a paid subscriber or not, and protect the videos only to be accessible by the paid subscribers. That's also possible. But that's perfect because our video lesson is working and it's loaded data from the buckets. Let me do git add, git commit -m video lessons in the Supabase storage bucket. Perfect. Now I think it's safe for us to go ahead and start working on the tutor dashboard for tutors to be able to create courses, edit them, upload videos, video lessons, manage the course, and so on. So let's go ahead and start by creating a new part of our application that is going to be specific to our course creators. It can also be create a new folder in the app directory specific to tutors, where they will manage their courses. For now, it just set up the structure. We will do protected routes and implement the necessary things later. So I'm imagining we're going to create a new folder here in Web Directory that is going to contain protected routes only that tutors are going to be able to access. And then we're going to get started like slowly, like by adding page by page to create courses, to update them, manage, and so on. Was there a poll option for no XAMPP encoding? What does that mean? Okay, it created this tutor folder. And what else it did? It created the tutor. And that's it. In this layout, we need to put the tutor somewhere. It's going to be... let's put it somewhere here inside the is onboarded. We're going to treat it for now name tutor. I put it below the tabs, so I expect tabs to be the first one to load. LMS. Perfect. Now I think from the profile, I will add a button, manage courses. From the profile page from the tabs, add a button, manage courses, that will redirect to the tutor page. Divertir. Okay, something is happening. So we have this manage courses. If I press on this, I'm redirected to the manage courses. But at this moment, like everyone are going to have this button. So our next step is going to be to protect this page only to specific users. Most of the information about the user is handling by Clerk, but we also have a profile database that is linked one-to-one to a Clerk user. So where do we store this information, like if he's a tutor or not? I think a better way to store this information is in Clerk. Maybe we're going to store it in profile as well, but we need it in Clerk because information, whether he's a tutor or not, is related to authorization, is related to what he's allowed to do. So if later we want to implement rules on our database saying that only a tutor can upload a course, that is going to be easier implemented by using information from the user token that is generated when the user signs in and is generated by Clerk. So what I mean by that is, let's go ahead and I think there is also a documentation. Clerk simple role, because the basic role access. Because one thing you can do is enable organizations, and with organizations you have like a full features way to manage team members, access control with role-based permissions. But this is, I think, too much for our application, so I'm not going to enable it here. But in some projects, organization is exactly what you want to build things like Notion or anything that has teams and role-based permissions and so on. I'm going to go with the basic role-based configuration, and that is implemented using public metadata. So in the public metadata, we can go into, first of all, into the user, and there is metadata here. There is public, there is private, and unsafe. Let's go into the public and update it. And let's say role is going to be tutor. Let's save. And this user now has the tutor role. Let's see if we are going to receive this information in the layout. Use of is coming from Clerk. Metadata or user. Let's try the use user from Clerk and see what information do we get back. The user. Let me go ahead and say console log user. And if I look here, that should be the user, or no, this should be the user. What I will do is console log JSON dot stringify and like this. Now, this user does it have here public metadata? It does. It has public metadata role tutor. That means that I can access console log role user public metadata role. What did I do wrong? User.user? Is it user.user? Yeah, because I need to destructure the user here. Okay, we see role tutor. That means that we can have this const is tutor with this and say that this text screen is going to be protected, and the guard, the logic of protecting it, is going to be whether it's tutor or not. So now if I go to profile and press manage courses, I will be able to go here. But if I go to the users, edit my role to anything else, save, and I will reload here. If I go to profile and press manage courses, I'm not going to be redirected anywhere because I'm not allowed to go there. You see? Because I'm not a tutor. If I look at the data, the public metadata role is not tutor. So role is not tutor, I should not be able to get there. So that's the first way how you protect screens and parts of your application using stat.protected and user the public metadata from Clerk. I can also hide this button in general. It's not bad, like it doesn't expose us to anything because I cannot navigate there unless I'm a tutor, but it would be better to hide the manage courses button if is not tutor. Yeah, now it's not here at all. And if I go back to make my user a tutor and save, and I will reload the application, I'll have a profile button. It should appear. Did I role tutor profile? No, it shouldn't be use profile. Not from profile, but from the user public metadata, similar to how we did it in underscore layout. The condition was wrong, like here in the profile screen. Okay, here it is. Manage courses. And I have access here. Perfect. So that's the first step. Git add, git commit -m, tutor, what? Tutor protected screens. Perfect. Now, if we look into this documentation, we're going to see that we need to do a couple of more things if we want to implement row-level security, meaning protecting our database based on this data. For that, in the session page, we need to customize the session token. And let's go into the configure sessions, customize session token. And here we can copy this metadata and we put it here. Let's try metadata user.public metadata. It should also be somewhere here. So if I do preview user and select my user, we're going to see metadata role. So that's going to be hard-coded in the JWT token, because before that, it only had the role authenticated. That is needed for Supabase. Now it also has metadata.role, which is I should probably call it differently because this role is like based on Supabase, like authenticated or not, but metadata.role is whether he's a tutor or an end user or an admin or stuff like that. So I should probably have given a better name other than role, but anyway. Perfect. Let's do, yeah, this is user preview. I don't see why it's not. Okay, but anyway, so that's going to be our JWT token. That means that we can create a global TypeScript definition. Let's try to do that as well. In the types, we should have types. I don't see types. We can create types, but we should have types. and let's create the globals.d.ts, and here we can extend, create a type for the roles, and metadata role roles. It's not going to be admin. For us, it's going to be maybe user and tutor, and maybe in future admin as well. And it says that the metadata has this role, either user or tutor. Set the admin role for your user. We already have done that by setting it to tutor. That's what we need in the user metadata. Create a reusable function to check roles. Create a helper function to simplify checking roles. Set the directory, create roles, check role. Uses the of helper to access the user session, check role. Yeah, maybe we can do that. Then we have an admin dashboard. We've protected, we have done already that. This is for, I think, Next.js. So it doesn't have the RLS here, but when we get to it, I'm going to show you how we can use that. Because in RLS, like, we're going to have access to the JWT token. So I think there we're going to have also access to the metadata role. Okay, now what? Let's go ahead and start implementing some information about the courses. First of all, let's fetch the list of the courses managed by the tutor. Let's go ahead here and say implement the home screen of the tutor dashboard is going to fetch a list of courses created by the tutor and display them. It will also have a button to create a new course. Let's start from this. So in the tutors application tutor, it's going to the index should fetch the list of courses by that user. So profile manage courses is going to slowly do that. In the services courses, it added use tutor courses. It took the user ID. No courses yet. That's good because we didn't have any courses yet. If, however, I'm gonna go copy my user ID from Clerk, copy it from here, then go to my local Supabase instance, table editor, courses. In the introduction to React Native, if I'm going to assign it to me by going to instructor ID and changing it to it references with public profiles, this one, we need this one. I want to edit it, instruct by this ID, save. Now, if I come here and do reload, I should have one course. I should be managing one course. So if I go manage courses, this is my course that I'm managing. What else did it create? It only added in the services, use tutor courses to query the ones that are mine. And then in the tutor index, it has the card and so on, empty state, and it fetches this data. I don't know why it does a scroll view. It should do like a proper flat list, but I will leave it like this. It's okay. Perfect. Let's commit it. First step is done. Seeing the list of courses that I manage. The next one is going to be when pressing on the plus button, I'm redirected to create course. Tutor, create. Let's go ahead and implement this page. Implement the create tutor create page. Where tutors will create new courses. Let's see what it does from this limited prompt, and then I can adjust like if I don't like something. I'm gonna go ahead and sit. Okay, now implementing this. Oh, here it is. It has course title, description, and so on. Title, my first course. Description, this is my course. Category, photography. Price, 0. Original price, 100. Create course. Now we are ready to the edit course. But that means that it probably created it here. It should appear. It has this ID. But for some reason, it's not visible when I manage courses. No, it's actually there. It's not visible there because I can say that, hey, after creating a new course, invalidate some of the things. After creating the course, invalidate queries that might include it. Invalidating means that we're going to refresh some data, some queries. So when I create a course, I want to update this list here so it appears automatically. It's already invalidating courses tutors. The only missing one would be if someone had a course before. Let's see if I do here test create course. Yeah, test it. It's actually working. Perfect. So now I can create a course. Commit. I didn't even check like what it did, but it's pretty good. Let's implement the edit course page. So when I'm here, I need to be able to edit the course, and later we're gonna go into the chapters and then into the lessons. So in the course ID, so when I press on one of these courses, I don't like the white. The gray background, but that's not a big problem. I can update like things like title, like test, and then save changes. And if I go back, it should invalidate maybe later. But for now, I can maybe reload. Test 1, 2, 3, save. For some reason, it's not working. It's not refreshing like on the other page, but let's see, manage courses. From test 1, 2, 3 to test. And if I go back, it's updated here as well. Perfect. From draft, I can publish it, save changes, and it's going to be published. And the test should be published. My first course is not. And if I go as a user, here in the search results, I should be able to search and find the test. It's here. But I should not be able to find my first course. We need to filter out the unpublished ones. We can add it as a task for later. Anyway, let's go into the manage courses. I need to keep track of things that I want to implement, because we leave some things to implement. I'll add some to-dos. I want to add also manage the image of the course tutor. As a tutor, I want to upload an image for this course. But for now, it's good. So I'm going to commit. There is also delete course. I'm going to add it as a to-do. But for now, I'm going to go into implement the manage lessons and chapters. Manage lesson screen. So that's what it does right now. If I press manage lessons, Okay, no chapters yet. Start by adding your first chapter. If you press add chapter, it's going to be intro. Then I can add another chapter, body, or environment setup, and outro. I can edit it, intro 1, 2, 3. It works. Nice, I really like how it does it. Test, I can also delete it. Perfect. I can also reorder it. I don't think we can do it right now, but it's okay. And I can add lessons. Hello world. Add lesson. Add another one. Agenda. In the environment setup. Setup React Native. Now I can go into the lesson itself and I can edit the lesson. For now, what? Chapters. I really like how it manages the lessons in chapters. It's really sweet. Lessons listed under each chapter with a play icon. Add lesson, add chapter, delete. Let's implement the edit lesson page as well. Nice. Expo image picker could not be found, so it's adding the Expo image picker. That means that I'm going to have to rebuild. Let me do pre-build and run iOS. Okay, it added the lessons, update lesson, upload lesson video, uploads a video file to the lesson video bucket using the lesson ID as a file name. Nice. So it also implemented the uploading of a video. So here from the lesson ID, it's handling the title, description, duration, and so on. It handles the video picker. It uploads the video to the Supabase. Nice. Now we just have to wait for this to rebuild. Come on, where is it? Oh. Here, we need to wait to rebuild and then we're going to be good to go. I can tell while we're waiting to rebuild. Let's also add let's also let the tutor upload the course image. Does our lesson have an image? Only a video. Yeah, it only has a video. It would be nice in future to also have thumbnails. So it created a new bucket where it's going to store the course images. Maybe it's going to do it itself, but if not, I will do it manually. Supabase, npx Supabase, db reset to reset the database to apply the new migration. npx Supabase, db reset. Okay, the build has finished. I will go through the onboarding again. In profile, I will go manage courses. I don't have any courses yet, so I'm going to create one. Let's say React Native Mastery. This is development. Let's make it free. Create. Could not find the table public schema. What happened here? Is that because what? I don't have a profile? Why don't I have a profile? Why don't I have a profile? I don't know. For some reason, yeah, I think I forgot to fill in some data and it didn't create my profile. But now I should have a profile. Yes. I can create courses. Okay, we have a profile. We can also upload an image for the course image. Let me double check. Yeah, I will just pick this one. Choose. Enable response was received from the upstream server. Why? I don't know. In the storage buckets, Error API happened while trying to communicate with the server. Something is wrong with my buckets. Let me do npx Supabase status. Storage. Storage. Something wrong with my bucket? Anyway, let's go into manage lessons. Intro. Yeah, something is off. Why I cannot add it? React Native Mastery. Manage lessons. Intro. Add. What? What's happening? Maybe Supabase npx Supabase stop and npx Supabase start to restart our local Supabase. Okay, starting from the backup. It's not yet accessible. Okay. Okay, now after restart, I see the course images. So I can, let's start with chapter to see if it's working. Maybe I will reload again. Manage courses, upload image. Image uploaded successfully. Let's do save changes. Yeah, course images. It uploaded the picture. 0 bytes. 0 bytes. I will fix that a bit later. Let me check what's going on with chapters. Intro. Add. It doesn't send me any error. I'll press J to launch DevTools to see what network request we're sending. Maybe something wrong with the network requests. Because in the table editor, in the chapters, we should be able to insert. I can look also at the RLS policies. Insert what? Instructor ID. I think it should work. where are the DevTools? Here. Here are the DevTools. I can go into the network and I can see what's going on if I press add. You see something is going on here. New row violates row level security policy. Violate security policy. Maybe after restarting, my Clerk integration maybe broke. Oh, I forgot a bit how I did it. Supabase, here in the config, it has Clerk as a third-party provider. Maybe I just simply have to relog in. Again, I forgot password. Six one 994. Hello, Rogelio. How are you doing? Now, if I go to Profile, Manage Courses, can I add the chapter test? I cannot. But I was able to create a course, right? Test. I was able to create a course, but not a chapter. Let's look into the Supabase migrations. Creating course. Instructors can insert their own courses. On public courses for insert, check this. Let's also see the chapters. Not images, but where is the chapters? Public.chapters. Not here, maybe here. Not here. Is it here? Yeah, public.chapters. Chapters of published courses are viewable by everyone. Instructor can insert chapters for their courses. While public for their own courses. This is a bit more sophisticated. If course ID is equal chapter and courses, instructor ID is equal to this one. A chapter has course ID. From course ID, chapter course ID, instructor ID is equal to what I'm not understanding. It's checking if course ID is equal to chapter course ID. Add chapter. intro. Not working. Let's look again at the data that we're sending. And you see it's chapters select. This is the course ID. What's your username on GitHub? It's Vadim, notjust.dev. Failed. You see, the course with these IDs does not exist. But it's this one, no? Oh, yeah, it exists. And this one has instructor ID, the correct one. Like, my idea is that this select is looks like a problem. Because only, like, on the select we only have this one, so it's only published courses. I think we are missing a select. Oh, that's the problem. Courses is published. So if I go here and say published, save changes, manage lesson, and I add here intro, it's going to work. But if a course is not published and I do save, manage lesson, I cannot even see the chapters, even if they are there, because we have only this chapter of published courses are viewable by everyone. I will say that's a small bug. Update this migration and add a select policy that allows instructor to select their own chapters, no matter if the course is published. I'll also say you can edit this migration because it has not been deployed yet. If you deploy things to production, you no longer update these migration files. You always create new ones. However, I didn't deploy it to production yet. I'm still in development, so I can update this one because I can reset the whole database. So while Claudio is working, I'm going to take a very short break and then we continue. Okay, so it updated what on the courses? I don't know what it did. Chapters of published courses are viewable by everyone. Select. So here it's selectable either if the course is published or if we're looking at as the instructor. Let's try this again by doing Supabase DB reset. We're gonna have to reset our database again. To recreate the database. And we try again. We need to reload, go through the onboarding again. Go into the manage courses. Let's create a new course. React Native Mastery. Let's create it. It's not yet published, but I should be able to go to manage lessons and add a new chapter intro. Yes, even if the course is not published yet. Perfect, that's good, because I'm the tutor, so I should have access to it even if it's not public. Anyway, what was my goal? Yeah, now I wanted my first lesson. Let's click add. And if I press on this lesson, I'm redirected to the page. I'll restart the application. So if I go to manage lessons, this one, I will be able to change description, duration, like this should probably be require enrollment to access. Okay, but I'll be able to upload the video. Let me also drag and drop this video one to my simulator. So I can upload a video, select this one, I can do that, double check the storage, lesson videos, but this video, it has 0 bytes. So there is something wrong with uploading, both the video and the photos. Because what do we have here? Upload video. Where is it coming from? From services lessons. Date lesson. Use upload video. Why it's 0 bytes? Let me do a git add, because we have some good code here. Git commit. Manage lesson as a tutor. And let's say the both the image and video upload has some bug. The files on Supabase storage are 0 bytes. Why it might be? We'll see, maybe form data. I don't think so, to be honest. Row level security, because it already exists. Let me try to delete the file and try again. Video uploaded successfully. Let's see. It has 83 megabytes. That's good. Let's do save changes. Okay. And I can play it. I don't know. Let's see. Let's test it as a user. React Native Mastery. First lesson. Yeah, it's loading. It's working. As a user, it's working. Let's test it as a tutor as well. Manage courses, React Native Mastery. Let's try an image. Let's save changes. And yeah, it's changed here. It's changed here as well. Like if I search React Native Mastery, it's changed here as well. Perfect. That means that I can go into manage courses, can update the images, can update everything here. I can go into manage lessons. I can go ahead and edit things here. I can see the video. I can watch it full screen. I can edit descriptions and so on. Nice. Perfect. 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 Fix. Image and video upload. What else do we need here? Because I think we have most of the things. Now it's like, as I said, like we have most of the things ready. Let me know in the comments right now what you would be interested in seeing us implement, and I will see like if we can do it. Because for now, like if we continue, we're just going to have to work on improving like UI and the UX and so on. For example, I might say I want the tutor index page of the course to show the details of the course, and then have a button edit course that will redirect to a new page to edit the course. So I don't want when going to the course as a tutor to be in the edit mode. I just want to see the details of a course, because editing is not something you do always. You maybe just want to check the students or so on. So we're gonna add a couple of tabs here. So if as a tutor, I'm gonna go to the course, it's still working. So let's wait. As a user, if I go to manage course, I see the course information. I see how many lessons, duration, and so on. I can manage the course by editing the course here, or I can manage lessons, or I can manage enrollments and see how many students are there, or I can change the visibility of a course, publish course. I don't think I need that. Perfect, that's exactly what I wanted. Git commit course index page for the tutor. Now we can implement seeing the users that enrolled. Implement the course enrollments page for tutors. As a tutor, usually you want to see what users enrolled in the course. So that would be this page. What are you building today? Today we're building a course platform, like a learning management system. Actually, we have most of it completed. As you can see, we can search for courses. We can see course information. We can go through the lessons. This resume is not working, but everything else is working. So we can watch the videos. Now we're working on the course management part, where tutors can create courses, manage them, see, edit the course, manage lessons, adding chapters, and so on. Now I'm working on the enrollments to see what users enrolled in this course. So if from the user side, I'm gonna go and search for React Native Mastery. And if I'll say enroll in this course, as a user, I will be enrolled here. I will see it in my user dashboard. Where is it? At the home. I will also see it here, like in the user dashboard. Maybe I need to reload, but anyway. Here, my courses, I see that I'm enrolled here. And I can go into manage courses, and I can see that I have one enrollment by Dim. I don't know why here it's 0 students. Should probably update, but anyway. And I see when this user enrolled. Perfect. Students enrolled in the course screen for tutor. Okay, what else? What else do we want here? To properly manage this in progress, yeah, let's fix that. As a user, on the home screen, I have an in progress card with resume lesson button. This is probably still hard coded. Let's implement it with real data. So it added what? In enrollments, use continue learning. Return the most recently enrolled course with progress info for the continue learning. Yeah, it checks the latest course that we enrolled. It looks at all the lessons, and it checks the lesson that the progress of that lesson, checks where we are left off. So we can resume lesson, and we are redirected to the first lesson of my React Native Mastery course. How do you handle rate limits? I have Claude Max, so I was hitting the limits on Claude Pro. That's why I upgraded to Max. Okay, perfect. I will go ahead and say git add git commit minus in progress resume lesson card on student home page. Lovely, perfect. So guys, do you have any ideas what other features you'd like me to show? Because if I look in my notes, I kind of implemented everything that I wanted. So features, search and navigate courses, enroll in courses, view course materials, watch video, we did that, manage course progress. As a course creator side, create, manage courses, and manage course analytics. And analytics, I mean enrollments and so on. There is a lot of labels that are not yet using actual data. For example, like lessons done or things like that. In that case, like we have most of this information in the database. So you just ask Claude, hey, fix that button, fix that number with real data, fetch that information, and so on. For example, in React Native Mastery, we see 0 lessons. Just let's say that. As a user, I see that the course shows 0 lessons, even though I have uploaded some lessons as a tutor. And let's see what Claude is going to say, because most probably it's not up to date. That's it. Yeah, the lesson count and the total duration are denormalized, which means that they're not calculating it in real time, but they are having like a value, like a column with lesson count. So it's just not updated at the proper time. I allow the database trigger to keep them in sync. So it created a new trigger, and every time we're gonna add a new lesson, it's going to automatically update it on the table. So it's going to keep it in sync. I'm late in the game with AI vibe coding, but what is rate limit and how does it impact your code? Well, all the tools that you're using for vibe coding, for example, Claude, in my case here, Claude, they have different plans with different limits. The cheapest one is like 20 euros a month, but it has like a number of limit. Start there, because if you're not using it a lot, like maybe you're not going to hit the limits. But whenever you need, you're going to see, for example, usage. I can see usage here. In my current session, I used 90% of my limits, and it's going to reset at 9 p.m. Current week, only 17%. So I'm actually not like going crazy here. I need to maximize it. Actually, I need to maximize it. But I was working like on other important stuff this week, not on the coding. Anyway, it added the database trigger. Now, when a lesson is inserted or updated or deleted, a chapter is deleted with cascade lessons deletes. Okay, now what I need to do is whenever we do changes on the Supabase migrations, I need to run npx supabase db reset. Okay, that has finished. I will reload the application. That will make us do the onboarding again, because resetting the database deletes or resets the data there as well. Now I probably will see correctly. The good thing is that I don't have like the continue learning because I didn't start any course, but I see some recommended for you. So I can look here. I see 24 lessons, and I think that is not correct, but maybe because it's dummy data. What I'm more interested in is if I'm going to go to manage courses, if I'm going to create React Native Mastery development, if I'm going to create it, manage lessons, create a chapter, intro, hello, then world, we have 2 lessons. That means that if I go back, I see here 2 lessons. And as an end user, if I'm going to search React Native Mastery, I should see 2 lessons. You see? And as a tutor, if I'm going to go ahead and delete one of these lessons, manage lessons, and let's delete the world, I'm going to go back. I see here 1 lesson, and it's going to be synchronized on the user as well. On the user, search React Native Mastery, 1 lesson. Perfect. So that's, as I was saying, like how you fix all of these small like numbers, because there is some numbers that are not like connected to data, but by using Claude, like you can fix that, because on the database we have everything ready there. So what I'm going to do, git add, git commit, keep the course lesson count in sync. Maybe like we understand that there is a small bug that this course is still in draft, but the user can search for it. Well, in that case, we can say make sure the user cannot search or see the courses that are in draft. I'll tell Claude to do that because I don't want to find React Native Mastery because it's still in draft. The RLS policy are correct. Oh, so that means that I see it only because I'm the creator of it. In fact, like an end user will not see it because it's going to be managed at the row level security policy. So the user is not even going to have access to it if it's in draft. I see it because, as I was saying, like I'm the creator. So that's good. It additionally added this equal is published to true in the services courses. So most probably it's not in the search, but it's here in the all courses, like it's not going to appear. But anyway, the good thing is that, as I was saying, like it's protected on the row level security, the best way to protect the data, not necessarily on the querying. Perfect. Git add, git commit. Fetch only published courses. Okay. Yeah, I think we are going to wrap up this mega tutorial where we build a full stack production ready application for online courses. An LMS, a learning management system with both user side and the course creator side. For that, we used Expo, React Native, we used Supabase for the database and the storage, and Clerk for the authentication. The users can create their accounts, the users can go through the onboarding flow, and they can start searching and managing their courses. We maybe are interested in this one. It's free, we can enroll, and we can start the lesson. This one doesn't have any lessons, but if I'm gonna go here, maybe which one? Maybe Supabase in progress? No, doesn't have anything. Expo. Well, as a course creator, I can go ahead and say, manage my course. I can publish it, save changes. I can go ahead, manage the lessons, manage chapters, create new chapters, create new lessons, edit the lessons, upload videos to that lesson, everything that you would expect an LMS system to do. Description, hello, yellow world. Let's do save changes. And now, as a user, I can go here, find the React Native Mastery course, enroll, and then go to the first lesson. And here is going to load the lesson, and I can open it in full screen. I can watch it. I can go to the next lesson. I can mark it as complete. Yeah, everything that you might want to do in a learning, on a course platform. Perfect. Thank you very much for watching till the end. Thank you very much, Clerk, for making this tutorial possible. It was super easy to integrate authentication and user management, even with multiple roles like a tutor and a student. That was really a piece of cake. And with a new React Native components, it was even better because all of the things on the profile, like manage profile and the sign-in page and the sign-up page and the forget password and everything there, like it's pre-built and coming from the Clerk pre-built components. So that's saving a lot of time. Okay, thank you very much everyone for watching. You're going to find all the source code by accessing the asset guide down below. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, that helps us a lot. And let us know what other projects you'd like to build, and I can take into consideration and help you achieve that as well. Thank you. Have a nice rest of the week. Bye-bye.